What's going on, guys? So today we are out here at Colonia Del Rey RV in Corpus Christi, Texas, and we're going to take a look at this absolutely, almost ridiculously large destination travel trailer from the folks over at Forest River in their PUMA division. This is absolutely insane, and I know that I've filmed a lot of large destination trailers, but this specific one right here is a stick and tin unit, which means it is a wood frame or wood structure with an aluminum siding on a steel frame. But this is absolutely massive, and I know a lot of folks want to see what the inside of this thing looks like, so let's take a look. Hang tight, I'll be right back. First and foremost, let's start off with the numbers. So this is going to have a gross vehicle weight rating of nearly 14,000 pounds, 13,900 pounds, a cargo capacity of 1,730 pounds, a dry weight of 12,111 pounds, and it's 42 feet 8 inches long. So from a towability perspective, first let's get that out of the way. This is not something you want to tow behind any normal pickup truck. At the bare minimum, I think some hotshot drivers might use some dually pickup trucks to haul these things around the country. Actually, I know of a few who have used single rear wheel vehicles. You're going to transfer almost 2,000 pounds to the back of your tow vehicle with this. A lot of folks actually will hire like a transportation company with a semi truck or medium duty truck to get these things to where they're going to live. And then most of the time they set these things up and they live there. So this is, again, not the type of trailer you're going to want to tow all over the place. Most people will simply use this as a cottage or something on a piece of land that they have, and they'll leave it there for a long period of time. They'll usually strap them down to the ground too, just to prevent windstorms and things like that from possibly tipping them over. But we're going to take a look at the inside of this one. Again, this is a Palomino PUMA 429 LFT for loft. I don't know if this door is open, but if it is, we'll go in here. And it is. Alright, I'm going to close that door. It's a little quieter inside. Alright, so let me pan around here a little bit. First and foremost, the thing you notice right off the bat is just how tall this thing is. Absolutely crazy tall. You're talking like 9-foot ceilings. Like residential size ceilings in here, or height ceilings. And this has a little bit of a different floor plan than most of them that I've walked through. So we'll dive in a little deeper. We have our theater seating here. We have some storage above. We have some relatively small windows. It would have been cool to see some larger windows in some of these spaces, but I can almost imagine that once we look at the price of this unit, it's going to reflect a price that's a lot less expensive than some of the other destination style trailers. So it's a value game here. Are the windows that big of a deal to you, right? A lot of them you see tons of windows. The other part of this that actually is a benefit is in almost every circumstance, you're not seeing dual pane windows on destination units, even the more expensive ones. And because of that, these walls of windows are going to let a lot of heat in. When you have a few less windows and you more strategically place where they are, you have a lot lower risk that that heat's going to come into your RV, which is really nice. So, you know, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I like the fact that there are less windows from a heat retention perspective, but at the same time, you kind of always want a little bit more from a window perspective. We have our panoramic fireplace here on the wall. Kind of looks like the TV should go above it, but they've placed the TV over here above the sink area, which is good for a couple, right? If you have more than a couple, they're probably going to be watching TV in the loft area. You have a gray stone compact microwave. And then you have a really nice large 4-burner cooktop here. Really nice drop-in Furrion oven stove combination. Might as well jump to the price. So this one's $55,978 after discounts. Regular price $78,835. So yeah, there's some value here for folks who want to pay less and have something like this that they might be able to use as a residence or leave at a home or put on an extra property that they have. It has that multi-purpose sink area with the cool little vegetable straining rack and a water flow area right here, plus your water glass cleaner. Nice light tones, like that they put the divider in there already as well. You got little storage compartments everywhere. I love the fact that it's real solid surface countertop. Boy, you can spend a lot more money and get thermofoil in RVs, and I love the fact that they've put an actual real solid surface countertop in here. That makes me smile, and they've actually created a bit of a radius to it right here. It looks really elegant. This way we have our Furrion 12-volt refrigerator, and this is a really nice French door refrigerator with dual drawers at the bottom. The kitchen is actually pretty well equipped, to be honest. We have our pantry in here, more storage up top, kind of high off the ground, but it's not like crazy high, so you can reach most of this unless you put it way up there. And then you have one AC here, one up front, and one in the back. So you have 3 air conditioning units in here. You have a cool little ottoman area with storage that you can use. So you have a second and third AC option. Standard black tank flush, which is pretty common. Trying to see if there's anything else. 360 silicone seal around all openings. Stained hardwood cabinets, that's nice. We'll look at some of this other stuff as we get to it. All right, so let's go up the loft since it's right here first. I love the actual real staircase. That is very nice. Plus, it looks like you get some storage right here. That is nice. Plus additional storage right here. And that's actually pretty deep. Then up here you have 2 nice mattresses. You could probably upgrade those mattresses if you want, but they actually seem pretty comfortable, to be honest. That's a nice sized loft space, and it's actually relatively tall right here as well. Probably 2.5 to 3 feet tall, so it's going to give you more room than a lot of lofts that you see in destination or even bunkhouse units. We're going to step down into a drop frame area back here where you have a full bathroom. So this is going to be a standout. This is a huge standout because a lot of these destination units might have a bath and a half, and most of them only have 1 single bath. But the fact is, this is going to give you 2 full bathrooms, which is really nice, plus a second entry exit on this side. Close that up a little bit. Thermofoil, I do wish this was a different material here, but the fact is you have a second full bathroom in this unit, which is rare. And then a full bunkhouse back here also. You can hang a TV back here if you want as well. But this is really nice. Stepping up back into the living room and kitchen area, we're going to walk past it to go into the front. Now this is probably going to be your bathroom, and this is your second full bathroom, which is a much larger shower. So the shower in here is huge. It's actually really big. It has a cornered seat. Don't think you're going to have any problem with height. You have your vent fan up there, another window, and I believe all of this stuff up here are electronically controlled. They are. So all of your shades up top, the highest levels, are all electronically controlled, so you don't have to try to reach up there. Another thermofoil sink, plastic sink, or at least thermofoil countertop with a plastic sink. And here's for your shade control right here. So that's how you would raise and lower your shade. Nice oval mirror. You have some storage back here as well, which is nice for your towels and toiletries. Has a plastic toilet. Some of these things are pretty easy to upgrade though, so you could easily upgrade to a porcelain toilet if you wanted to. Then you have your fan, your shades right here to raise or lower your shades, and then your touch screen for your Coleman Mach air conditioner. So it actually has the digital thermostat. That's nice. And then in your bedroom, we have the screen door right here. This is actually in travel mode. That's how they have that. King size bed, huge, huge, huge ceiling. So instead of putting a loft above the master bedroom, which I hate it when they do that, because if you have kids up there, it's just noisy all the time. They just gave you really, really tall ceilings in here. And then you have a dedicated air conditioning unit also, and it's all ducted, which is really nice. But nice king size bed. A lot of wardrobe storage here on this wall as well, plus a spot for a stackable washer and dryer, which I actually prefer it being in here because when you're done, you can simply unload everything into your closet versus a spare room in the back like you see in a lot of cases. This also has solar on top. I don't know how much solar it has, but it is equipped with solar. And they give you this cool little desk right here. Now, I think they could have probably made something a little bit larger, a little bit more substantial, but it is nice to know that if you are working on the road, you do have the capability of having your laptop and a notepad or whatever you need to do to conduct business while looking out a good sized window. So that is also really nice. This is a really well thought out RV, and when you think about it from what's lacking, in some ways you might say, yeah, it doesn't have as many windows as some units, but it's not going to let in nearly as much heat, which is also really nice. It may not have as many lofts, but you get more privacy in the master bedroom. You don't have to worry about kids making a bunch of noise above you. You know, you may not have some of the things that are purely luxury focused in other RVs, but you have a lot of function here, which I think is really, really nice and really appealing for a lot of folks, especially at under $56,000. That is probably the best part about this unit, is that you get a lot for your money, and ultimately at the end of the day, that's what we're all looking for. Now, we're next to a busy highway, so I'm not going to be outside. It's just going to be overwhelmingly loud, but I'd love to get your feedback on this. What do you guys think of this destination floor plan, especially in comparison to many of the others that you've seen on my channel and other YouTube channels? I'd love to know if you think the value propositions here, even if you may not agree with every choice when it comes to like countertop surfaces or number of windows and things like that. But yeah, drop a comment below. I would love to know what your thoughts are. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.